Hello everyone, welcome to Think Academy. My name is Eddie. I'm currently the fifth grade student, fifth grade teacher, and I'm in charge of studying pre-algebra and algebra. So today we are going to talk about how to prepare for algebra. And you can see that from the topic, it says how to pre-algebra. That basically gives out the solution. The course pre-algebra is actually very, very famous in the entire United States through the 5th or 6th grade students and their parents. So today we're going to talk about what is pre-algebra and how to prepare for the algebra. All right. So before we talk about how to do it, first we want to do a little bit review on why do we pre-algebra. Okay, first of all, pre-algebra is mainly focused by G5 to G6 private elementary school to middle school students. Students study pre-algebra in order to stay in the lead in middle school math study. Usually after pre-algebra, they directly go to Algebra 1, which is generally speaking ninth graders subject for normal public school students. Is the main standard for math leading process. So it's one of the standards to say, oh, if my kid is learning pre-algebra before the 6th grade, well, that means my kid is doing fine with math learning process. If he's learning pre-algebra after 6th grade, that means he's doing average. I mean, when I was a student, I had this girl in my high school who's studying pre-algebra when she was in 9th grade. That will be a little bit behind. So this is an indicator of the math learning process. And the reason of that is it's a transition from arithmetic math to algebraic math. And to talk about the difference, the arithmetic math including all the numbers. For example, we have the integers, we have the fractions, and we have the decimals. But for algebraic math, what we usually see not only numbers, but also letters. It's the first time you see we can use letter or some other things to represent number. That is a thing that a lot of kids cannot get through. All right. Usually for schools, especially for public schools, it is the indicator to select the students for the fastest track in a public school. So if you are in the pre-middle school session, so you are currently in 5th grade and going to public middle school, you usually need to take a test in order to see which track are you on. So if you are on the fastest track, you will be learning algebra when you are in 7th grade, which is much faster than the regular public school. All right, just like my colleague and my friend Grant said, the difference of Common Core and a top private school curriculum is very different. When you look at the math curriculum, we can see that the Common Core is very slow-paced comparing to private school. Usually, if you're getting out from the public school slowest track, you will be 3 or even 4 years behind the top private school. So a lot of people say Think Academy is very fast. But when we're looking at the top private school, especially in the Bay Area, we see a much faster pace than people usually expect it. It's basically equal to our Think Academy pace. So here we have a graph of basis independent Silicon Valley. So as we can see there, the fastest track for basis is the AP Calc BC when they're in 9th grade. And that's really fast. That's will even be faster than our track if our kids are not jumping years, right? But you know, people study from the pre-algebra. If you look at the 5th grade, people learn pre-algebra. And in 6th grade, right, in 6th grade, if you already learned pre-algebra, they will put you in Algebra 1 in geometry. If you haven't done well for pre-algebra, you will be learning pre-algebra for 6th grade. So that's saying if you haven't learned pre-algebra well, you will not be in the fastest track. That means no AP Calc for 9th grades. You can see the whole track here, right? If you learn pre-algebra for 6th grade, that means you will be a little bit behind. But again, still faster than public school track by a lot. So again, if you ask when is the good time for pre-algebra, I will say 5th grade to 6th grade is generally speaking a pretty good time. Okay, if you're studying pre-algebra when you are in 7th grade, then you're doing just fine as a normal average American. If you're doing that a little bit after 8th grade, then yeah, I'll say a little bit behind. All right, so after so many things about why do we learn pre-algebra, we might want to talk about what is pre-algebra. So this is a very famous book on the market who introduced pre-algebra in several chapters. We can see that from the properties of arithmetic to exponents to square roots to number theory, and it will talk about fractions and equations and inequalities. In the end, the second half, while we have angles, perimeter and area of triangles and quadrilaterals, that's geometry. Right? That's geometry. It has, some of you may say that has nothing to do with the algebra. Why do we learn that now? Well, if you continue looking, you have data and statistics, counting, and problem-solving strategies. Again, those are not, say, 100% relative with algebra. However, those are some very, very important stuff to learn before the Algebra 1, or I'll say before the high school level math. So I will say the pre-algebra consists 2 parts. All right, one part is the basic knowledge, but it will show you in the algebraic way. I'll give you an example later. It's a transformation from arithmetic thinking to algebraic thinking. That's the first purpose of pre-algebra. The second purpose is using that lesson to give you enough information to make you prepare for high school level math. So again, 2 of the purpose. One is to train you, you can think of the algebraic thinking. The second one is to give you enough knowledge to have you prepare for the high school. All right. So we have some current pre-algebras on the markets, pro and con. The pro, of course, is it has a good systematic learning by grouping the contents into modules. So you know where you are studying. You can easily keeping track on these are the modules we are learning. That is different modules. But it surely has its downside. If you are going to deeper in math, especially math competitions, then in math competitions, it's not usually asking for one module for a question. When you are going to school, they will say, oh, today we're going to have an exam about this module. So you study for that. You do great in the class. However, when you are in math competition, well, they usually combine the math concepts together. And by that time, studying in modules will not be a upside, will be a downside. So I will recommend not only studying in modules, also study all the math questions together, combine the math concepts together. If you know how to do that, that means you're doing very well for math study. The second good part is it has good content. A lot of pre-algebra books are written by the world-famous textbooks to help the students to understand the math better. So, of course, those are very, very good books. And the textbooks are very clear on explaining the concepts. However, it is clear for the 7th to 9th graders, especially for algebra books. If you're learning algebras when you're in 5th grade, for example, a lot of my kids, my students, are studying algebra when they're in 5th grade right now. And some of them are telling me, Mr. Eddie, I'm having some hard time understanding this book. Well, that's because the book is not designed for a 5th grader or even 4th graders to read it. The age gap is not only we have 3 years of age gap, it's 3 years of life experience. It's 3 years of thinking at school. It's 3 years of math experience. We cannot take that away. Okay, so it's easy for the 1st graders to study 3rd grade's concept, but it's really hard for 5th graders to study 9th graders' concept. All right, so that's the book part. The book is good, but it's not made for 4th graders or 5th graders to read it. The third thing is that it will get kids ready for algebra knowledge, knowledge-wise, in less than a year after elementary school. So if you are just walking out of the elementary school, basically take you 1 year to finish that entire book, right? That entire book, after you finish that, you are ready for algebra, or so they say. The fact is, it's fast, but it's not really deep. It will tell you the concept, but it will tell you the concept in the idea of, oh, I know it, right? I know that's the concept, but you will not go deeper. But if you don't go deeper, you don't have the chance to ask the questions of the true meaning of the math. So we believe the hard question is helping students to understand more on mathematics. That's why we keep going with I would say a little bit harder questions in Think Academy. Okay, one of the things is a lot of students' parents say, oh, my kid is already learning algebra. Is he or she fast enough? Or my kid is in 3rd grade and he or she is learning pre-algebra. Is he or she fast enough? Well, the usual answer from me is that it's not about if you're learning this or not. Is that how much of this knowledge have you been taken and how much of this you can use for either math competition or just regular schoolwork, right? If you only know the concept, but you cannot use that well, I will not say that's improvement. That will be progress. So don't take the progress as improvement. That's one of the main things we say here in Think Academy. There's a man who once said, they know the truth are not equal to those who love it, and they who love it are not equal to those who delight in it. And you can guess who said it. That's actually from the ancient Chinese philosopher Confucius. So we also have 3 levels of knowledge in mathematics. The first level is know it. A lot of kids say, oh, I know this, I know that. What is know it? Well, everyone here who is listening to this webinar, of course they know what is 1/2 minus 1/3. Right? We change all the denominators to the same. We have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3. That equals to 3 over 2 times 3 minus 2 over 2 times 3. Right? There we have 1 over 2 times 3. That's 1 over 6. Well, easy concept. Everyone knows it. And knowing the concept will help you to solve that one question. But a lot of people say, oh, that question, I know how to do it. I'm just careless. I'll get a question right next time. I'm just careless. Well, actually, just knowing it will not help you not to make mistakes. Well, 1 plus 1 is really easy. And you know why of that. You never make mistakes on 1 plus 1 equals to 2, right? So no matter how careless you are. So knowing the concept is not enough. You need to go to the next level. The next level is called loving it. Okay, the similar question, we happen to have 1 over 2 times 3. Okay, by that time, you need to realize that, oh, 1 over 2 times 3 will equal to 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. Okay, so something's very interesting. See, 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3 actually equals to 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. Okay. If your kid realized that, then congratulations. That means your kid is willing to study math, willing to know more about it. Okay. 1 over 3 minus 1 over 1 over 2 minus 1 over 3 equals to 1 over 2 times 1 over 3. Okay. So if your kid is really loving it, we might want to come up with this formula, which is 1 over a times b equals to 1 over a minus 1 over b. And that happens when the a and b's difference is 1. Okay, so we also have, 1 over 3 minus 1 over 4 equals to 1 over 3 times 1 over 4. It's super fun. You can try it. You can try any number you want. You can even try 1 over 100 over 1 over 101 equals to 1 over 100 times 1 over 101, right? Changing everything you see here into some patterns, is the point of showing the love to something. Okay, so when you come to this kind of formula, it shows that you start to love math. But that's not the highest level. Okay, the highest level we have is the light in it. Well, by the time we see 1 over a times b equals to 1 over a minus 1 over b, when we have a number that's b minus a equals to 1, we can certainly see, is that a pattern for other things? Is that a pattern for other fractions? So we come up with another one. Say, what happens if a and b has a difference of 2? I'm really interested to know that, right? What if I have 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4? What am I going to get? That I will have, well, I can write down 2 times 4, 4 over 2 times 4 minus 2 over 2 times 4. That I have 2 over 2 times 4, right? I know this is not a very good answer because, you can reduce 2 over 2 times 4 to 1 over 4, but the idea is right. We realize that if the two numbers here have a certain difference, say 2 and 4 has a difference of 2, then we have 2 over 2 times 4 equals to 1 over 2 minus 1 over 4. And if you want to try a higher number, you can do more. You can try when the two numbers have difference of 3, right? Say 2 and 5, right? 3 over 2 and 5 equals to 1 over 2 minus 1 over 5. Yeah, that's what happened when you have a and b that has the difference of the numerator. So once you start to realize that formula, right? Once you start to realize that d over a times b equals to 1 over a minus 1 over b, when d equals to the difference of b and a, once you start to realize that, that means you're truly studying it. So fraction is not hard. Right? This is just using the basic idea of fraction. The idea, the concept of fraction is not hard. It's just that how much that you can use of it. Okay? So, by the way, calculating fraction is the arithmetic thinking. Now, change them into a pattern using letters. That will be algebraic thinking. So, for one basic knowledge, you can go way deeper. And in Think Academy, we want to make sure our kids at least go to level 2. And for some of the gifted kids, or if they really love it, we'll make sure they'll have fun in level 3. So look at algebra. Time-wisely, to get students ready for Algebra 1, in a public school district, it usually takes 3 years. Even though you're in the fastest track and you are doing really well, it will take you 1 year. And if you're in a top middle school, top private middle school, it will usually take half a year to 1 year to get you ready for pre-algebra. And so a lot of parents starting to asking us, how long for Think Academy? Well, in Think Academy, it takes 26 weeks to prepare you ready for algebra. Now, that 26 weeks is once a class per week. Before 26 weeks, that's 26 classes. But that's not 26 classes in total. We actually have a plan for 6 classes and 20 classes. Let's look at the 6 classes first. We will have first 6 classes. As you can see, the yellow part is what we are going to cover in the pre-algebra. We're going to call that class, I really love that. It's called the pre-algebra in a nutshell. It basically shows you the basic idea of pre-algebra. It's how to transfer your arithmetic thinking to algebraic thinking. Okay, that 6 lessons is crucial for kids who never touched pre-algebra or anything related before. So if you feel like your kids are out of elementary school, especially public elementary school, and feeling like I think my kids haven't done anything special or advanced on mathematics, then algebra, in the pre-algebra in a nutshell, is the perfect class for you. we are actually having a pre-registration right now. So if you want to sign in for that class by selecting the time, I think the link is coming right up. Okay, you can click the link. There's no down payments. You can literally just sign up for the class, pre-sign up for the class. We will be talking about fundamentals of arithmetic, exponents, number theory, fractions, basic equations and inequalities, decimals, ratio, percentage, and square root. Those will be covered in 6 lessons. And whatever happens next, the blue part, we have another plan, okay? The other plan is after you study the pre-algebra in a nutshell, you already have a very good sense of what is algebraic thinking. We feel like this really helps the students to understand the future lessons. So that's why we speed that up a little bit. It's called 3 years in 20 lessons. This is the 20 lessons we selected, especially for the Common Core grade 6 to grade 8 material. It will fully cover everything from the 6th grade math to 8th grade math in Common Core. Get everyone ready for algebra. So after you walk out from these 20 lessons, you will feel like, oh, there's nothing I don't know before Algebra 1. And I'm truly confident of Algebra 1. And if you're looking at some of these contents, you will find those in Intro to Algebra 1, which is a path from the pre-algebra to algebra. If you're reading from the books in modules, the pre-algebra and algebra is not transferred that smoothly. All right, trust me, if you ever learn these 2 books, you will understand. And our lesson will help you to understand everything before Algebra 1 and even something after Algebra 1 to make sure the transition is very smooth. So this is the 3 years in 20 lessons. So what kind of kids are eligible for 3 years in 20 lessons? That is up to discussion. We will actually have an evaluation test, which if you want to sign up, we will set up a one-on-one evaluation course with you guys. Okay, it's a one-on-one course. It's on Zoom, and the best thing is it's for free, right? You don't even need to pay for anything. Just sign up, and we'll have teacher contacting you and give you some very good advice on how kids will learn. Not necessarily to go to the 3 years in 20 lessons. If your kid is the right material and he or she is ready for this kind of pace, then we'll let you know and let's see what's going. So definitely register for the evaluation. I highly recommend that. You can actually see me on Zoom and some other 5th grade teachers like Teacher Ken, Teacher Michael, and Teacher Grant. You guys remember these people, right? You can see them a lot in our webinars. All right, so in a summary about why do we learn pre-algebra is that to be well prepared for the fast track, to eventually save our kids precious time. The middle school time is the most precious time. If you waste time in the middle school, you eventually pay for that in high school. Okay, and trust me, you do not want to waste high school's time. And what is pre-algebra? So I separate that into 2 things. The idea of algebraic thinking and the knowledge before the Algebra 1. So that's why in our 26 lessons, I split that into 6 lessons and 20 lessons. 6 lessons to train for the algebraic thinking, to speed up, to help your kids to understand the pre-algebra better. And then use 20 lessons to make sure everyone will absorb the knowledge well. And about when to learn, it really depends on you. However, we really believe that before the 6th grade, is highly recommended by the Think Academy. Okay, so if your kid is in 6th grade, then good. If your kid is in 5th grade, good. In 4th grade, I'm not so sure. It depends on the situations. So that's why we're gonna do the evaluations, right? How to learn pre-algebra? Well, first you need the right content, which we believe we already have that. We have a very respected content development team developing the right content just for the younger kids to study for pre-algebra and algebra. and we have the right teacher. You got me, you got Michael, you got Ken, you got Grant. Those are perfect teachers. Just ask anyone who ever took our classes. And the other 3 are even better than me. That's what I thought. And we have the right method. If you've ever been to our classes, you will know we have the right method to give our kids the best chance to learn. Just burn the fire inside of them to love math. And if you haven't known about the right method, definitely feel free to go to our trial lessons. We have our trial lessons on Think Academy application. You can just grab your phone, literally go to your app store and punch in Think Academy, and then you will see that we have the trial lessons. It's for $5 for 45 minutes. It's the same thing from the long-term classes. It's just the time, one time for you to try what the actual class will look like. All right, again, the shortest version is the middle school evaluation is now. So if you're interested, definitely click the link to do it. Okay, definitely do not miss this chance. I highly recommend you come to the evaluation, talk to us, please, please, please. Okay. One last thing is that if you have any questions or follow-up information, just add us on WeChat and Telegram. On the left-hand side, we have my WeChat right there. My name's Eddie. So it's that little sheep right there. And if you want to go to our Telegram group, you can scan the QR code. Okay. So yeah, maybe in the next webinar we'll have a call-in session, so you can actually call me and ask questions. But today we'll just call it. And if you have any questions, feel free to add me on the WeChat or Telegram to talk to me personally. All right, I'm happy to answer any questions that you have for middle school. All right, that will be it. I will see you guys in the next webinar.完事了，我觉得还行，时间也还行。